The Select Committee will come to order. This is a historic hearing. We've never had this combination of witnesses, a fantastic collection of expertise to help us make sense of what the Chinese Communist Party is doing in cyberspace and how we can better defend ourselves. I had a thought this morning that we've spent a lot of time on this committee debating or thinking about the question of whether Xi Jinping will make a move militarily against Taiwan, and what would be the timeline of such a move. And obviously this is a unknowable question, and people continue to debate it. But in some meaningful sense, I wonder if such an invasion, or the preparation for such an invasion, which would be incredibly costly, as the ranking member very eloquently pointed out yesterday, has already begun. If the intelligence preparation of the battle space has already begun. Put differently, for over 20 years, the CCP has been attacking us, our government, our defense contractors, our technology firms in cyberspace. That is a fact. And for a long time, these attacks were focused on theft, just robbing us of valuable technology that was then used to drive their military modernization, a really unprecedented military modernization. But another focus of attack has been gathering sensitive information on hundreds of millions of Americans, with attacks on companies like Anthem Health, the Office of Personnel Management. I'm sure Mr. Moulton and Mr. Auchincloss and anyone else who served in the military got a nice letter from OPM after our military records have been compromised. Mine is framed in my office in my basement. According to the FBI, China's vast hacking program is the world's largest, and they have stolen more Americans' personal and business data than every other nation combined. But that wasn't enough for the CCP. In the past few years, our intelligence and cybersecurity agencies have discovered that the CCP has hacked into American critical infrastructure for the sole purpose of disabling and destroying our critical infrastructure in the event of a conflict over Taiwan, for example. This is the cyberspace equivalent of placing bombs on American bridges, water treatment facilities, and power plants. There is no economic benefit for these actions. There's no pure intelligence gathering rationale. The sole purpose is to be ready to destroy American infrastructure, which would inevitably result in chaos, confusion, and potentially mass casualties. It's outrageous. It's an active and direct threat to our homeland, to our military, our ability to surge forces forward in the event of a conflict, and it's not a hypothetical. As our witnesses will testify today, the Chinese government has already done it. Our cyber warriors are doing everything they can to stop it. We are dealing with malware in water utilities, oil and gas pipelines, power grids, and other utilities in our westernmost territories and across the American homeland. And the damage that could be done by this is almost hard to imagine. We need to step up and defend our critical infrastructure, defend ourselves in cyberspace. It's a critical part of deterrence. It will take unprecedented collaboration between the public and private sectors to create the kind of layered cyber deterrence we need to prevent disaster, because it's not just a government problem, it's a whole of society problem. Our committee is called the Select Committee on Strategic Competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party. That's a long title. But in a very real way, the name of our committee vastly understates the problem set. It's not just strategic competition, but a strategic threat pointed at the heart of America. If we do not address this threat, then the CCP will have the ability to turn off the lights for everyday Americans, shut down cities, and cause massive loss of American lives. That's unacceptable. I believe men and women of good faith in both parties can come together to prevent that from happening, and that's what today's hearing is all about.